Hello and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this week's new episode of Double Barrel Gaming Presents Fallout 76 Burning Springs Ask Me Anything. Of course, I'm solo, as you can see. I'm trying out the virtual background. It's not perfect, but it's okay. It does the job. It's fine. What I wanted to do though is kind of just give you my thoughts and talk about this DLC because look, a couple of weeks ago, and I think everyone knows this because I put it out in the socials. I was one of the few that were invited to the Microsoft experience in Manhattan. Of course, I'm here in Westchester County, so I took the trip into the city, and I got 2.5 hours worth of play with Fallout 76. And look, this isn't going to be a long stream, folks. I'm going to say maybe about 30 minutes. I'm going to give you my hot take on it. And then I'm going to go back to doing some reviews. I'm doing a couple of reviews in the background, one of which, of course, is The Outer Worlds 2, which I was able to tell everyone I was doing. And I got a few other things I'm doing, but we'll be back tonight for, of course, primetime gaming at 7 p.m. With Hargeet and Kayasante. We have a couple of really big topics to get into it. Of course, tomorrow is the launch of the ROG Xbox Ally X and S, or of course, just the Ally. I'm calling it the S. I'm always going to call it the S. And of course, I'm getting the X. I'm going to Best Buy to pick them up, along with the dock, along with the controller I picked up today, as a matter of fact, and the case. So I'll be doing an unboxing tomorrow. I'll be giving you my review probably in a couple days. I want to take some time to get used to the device. And again, we're going to be going over that this evening because, again, it's a console launch, a handheld console. It's Xbox partnered. I know there's going to be some people in the chat that are going to boo me and say, no, it's not an Xbox. Think how you think. Don't tell me how to think. I'll just say that. But we're not here for that. You'll come back tonight at 7, or at least I hope that you'll come back at 7 to check out what me, Hargeet, and Kayasante have to say about the future of the handheld device and what Xbox's own device may look like in 2027. But we're here today, folks, to talk about Fallout 76 Burning Springs update that's coming in December. Now, of course, like I said in the opening, I do want to say a big thank you to Bethesda and for Xbox for not only the invite, not only the hands-on with Burning Springs, but recognizing the channel, folks. Again, this is I don't want to say, oh, he makes it look so easy. There's nothing easy about content creation, and there is certainly no easy path to trust. And having companies like Bethesda, like Obsidian, like platforms like Xbox recognize the channel, being that we're relatively small, is incredible. So I got a chance to get out there for a couple hours and get hands-on with this. Now, look, I'm going to be fair and I'm going to be honest, and I think that's why you tune into the show, or at least you tune into the podcast. I'm not an MMO player, and I literally told the lead dev of Fallout 76 that the only reason why I bought Fallout 76 initially was for the Power Armor collectible helmet. I didn't even buy it for the game. Honestly, I wound up getting the game. Like most collector's editions, the Xbox version sold out. So what I was able to get my hands on was the PC version. And I didn't care because I wasn't buying it. And I literally, and folks, I'm not being facetious. I literally told the developer, the head developer, the producer, that's why I bought the game, because I wanted to be honest. When I was originally invited, and again, shout out to Bethesda for the invite, which they've done quite a few times, I nearly turned it down. And the reason why is because I don't play MMOs. I just don't. Then I got a chance to speak to a couple of people behind the scenes, and I was encouraged to go because Fallout 76, which is a massive multiplayer online game, which is not my bag, has been made more for a single player experience if you want to play like that. Now, one of the things that were missing originally from Fallout 76 was what Fallout is known for, and that's its NPCs. and the quests and the relationships that you can get with these NPCs that you're known for, or at least what Fallout is known for. It's why most of the time we play these open world games, especially Fallout, because the story is logistically your story. Sure, there are the same characters, but there's a good chance that if you are someone like myself or like Infinite Number, for instance, who, again, we say this all the time. The mission is straight ahead. I know exactly where I got to go, but then all of a sudden there's something shiny standing over there, and you go and you grab it, right? So that's how I play all these open world games, and that's why it takes me usually 3 times the amount of an average play. So if an average play is gonna be like 20 to 25 hours, I'm probably gonna put 70, 75, maybe even 100 hours in the game. And you say, well, boom, why? Because I don't leave any stones unturned. So to be honest with you, I originally wasn't going to go because I didn't think it was something that my audience wanted to see or hear about. And honestly, like, again, I'm being honest, it's not something I thought I would enjoy. So fast forward to the event, I get there and I'm talking with the PR, and I'm getting the backdrop of what this is. So you know what? Before we get into like some of my thoughts, I kind of want to just give you the what why I was it walked away a bit surprised. Like, I actually was excited for it. Now, if there's any criticism that I can have for Bethesda when it comes to Fallout, it's the lack of Fallout. Fallout 76, for people that play it, are excited because as of today's show, I believe they've had over 30 updates. They've had numerous expansions, and the new one that is going to feature the ghoul from the Fallout series, and that's of course, it's officially voiced, folks, by Walter Goggins. Like, he actually did the voice for the ghoul in the game, as well as obviously play the character's role on the season one, which season two is launching in December. And oh, what do you know about that? So is Burning Springs. They didn't have a specific date in December, but it is launching, and it's a free update, folks. You don't have to pay for it. Now, my criticism for Bethesda, and you've heard me talk about this, and again, I'm putting myself in the front line here, folks. This is why I hope you tune in, and anybody that's new, I hope that you are gonna listen to what I'm talking about. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I appreciate the honesty. I'm gonna subscribe. So maybe we'll get a couple of subscribers out of today's AMA. But here's the thing. My criticism for Bethesda is not striking while the iron was hot. And they have course corrected. I thought for sure that when the Fallout's TV series came out, no one actually knew if it was going to be good. And I think there were a lot of people that were skittish, maybe even at at Amazon, based on the reception of the Halo series. Now, when the Halo series season 1 and 2 were on Paramount, they did okay. Right now on Netflix, it's being watched. It's number 4 the last time I checked. It's doing gangbuster numbers, and there's obviously going to be a season 3 based on that, because again, when you talk to the hardcore, we're like, Piff, Master Cheeks, no way. But for the average viewer, the normie, they're watching Halo and like, holy cow, this is freaking. I talked to a couple of normie friends that have nothing to do with games, and they're like, boom, well, Craig, they don't call me Boom. Hey, Craig, did you see the Halo series on Netflix? Oh my God, it's so good. And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of old. I've seen it already twice even. But they're enjoying it, so that's something. So kind of focusing back on the Fallout series. Look what happened, folks. When Fallout came out, it is currently the breadwinner, the record breaker, the record shatterer, if you will, for Amazon and their TV series. It broke all kinds of records for them: viewing, watching, rewatching, streamed, all the records you could possibly know. And maybe Xbox, maybe Bethesda, maybe even Amazon wasn't sure how this was going to go. But what happened? In the UK, I think Fallout 3 was like the number one seller that particular first couple of months. I mean, it's Fallout 3 sold like gangbusters. So my smoke for Bethesda a little bit is you should have kind of known that this was going to hit just based on the quality of what Amazon does and how this was directed. It's an incredible series, and I'm so looking forward to season 2, which is happening in December. And listen, folks, I'm sorry. There's a little spoiler warning, folks. Turn your music or turn the podcast down if you don't want this thing spoiled. So I'm going to wait 5 seconds, and then I'm going to give you my thoughts, because at the end of the series, it ends in a cliffhanger. Of course it does, because they want you to come back for season 2. But where are they headed? My favorite non-Bethesda game, well, non-Fallout Bethesda game. And listen, I know that if I ever get a chance to meet Todd Howard, God Howard, if you will, he's going to give me the eye, the stink eye. And I'm not talking about that stink eye. Pause. I'm talking about he's going to give me the look, because I love Fallout. I think the series is incredible. I love the open world. I love the fact that your story can be your story based on your gameplay. I think Bethesda really does that great. I mean, they do it with Fallout. They've done it in the Elder Scrolls. And of course, listen, I'm not going to give you I'm not going to listen to any slander for Starfield. If you didn't like it, you know what? That's fine. I'm not going to give you any slack for it, but I loved Starfield. I put 5 days, and I should be ashamed of myself that I think it's even 6 days now, that I only put 6 days into it. But I really think that when you watch the TV series, you get it. You get the itch, right? The gaming itch. You want to go play something Fallout. So for season 1, all we had was Fallout 3 and Fallout 4. I'm sure you could have went and played New Vegas, and that's ultimately where season 2 is going to pick up, right? Season 2, they were headed towards Vegas, and obviously, it's my favorite non-Bethesda Fallout game. In all of the series, for me, because I didn't play the original, top-down isometric ones. I didn't do those. But for me, I started out with Fallout 3 and the Xbox 360. I put over 300 hours. I got almost every achievement, even including the DLC. But in order of Fallout's releases, it's New Vegas, 3, and 4. 4 I like the least. And I'm going to tell you right now, I hated the building aspect. I wish there was a way to just I did it. I threw a town together with like bubblegum and some sticks to get the achievement. I think it was 10 or 15 points. I never went back to it. That town got eaten alive, and I could care less. But the thing is this, there are a couple of things happening here, which I'm very excited about. Now, someone had DM'd me and said, "Hey, Boom, did you know that there was a Fallout event happening in a couple of weeks?" And I didn't hear about that. So I don't even have it confirmed, to be honest with you, because, folks, I want to get into why I think you should try out Fallout 76, because when it does come out, I'm going to play it, and I'm going to tell you why in a second. But shout out to everybody in the chat. Listen, we have 100. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't think we'd get 50 people to watch this. This is not an average show. We got 104 people here. Thank you for checking out today's impromptu Fallout 76 Burning Springs event. And I know you saw a lot of creators do this before me. And the reason why I decided to wait is because I wanted to get out of everybody's way. I don't like jockeying for position. This is a small channel. And again, I love all these guys. When you see the Iron Lords doing it, and you see Colt Eastwood, and there's so many others, man. Like, there's so many creators out there that went to this event. I don't want to get in their way, and I certainly don't want them in front of me, because we're going to get eaten alive. So I wait a week, sometimes even 2, which is what happened here, where I can actually just come out here and just, at leisure. I'm not trying to win any awards here. I'm not trying to make you buy it because it's a free update. But I get a chance to kind of just, hang out with you for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, give or take, give you my hot take, and then go back to playing games. And that's what I wanted to do here today because I wanted it to be earnest. I wanted to be, forthcoming, transparent as I am for the show. But having Walton Goggins do the voice is pretty incredible. But what I kind of want to give you a little bit of some backstory as to what this where it actually stands. So this update is going to give players of all ilks. It's new game. It's a new gameplay. So it's going to give you the ability to do public events, which are kind of like what you did in Destiny, which I thought were pretty cool. I did a couple of those public events. One of them is called Gearing Up. The other is called Sinkhole Solutions, which can be triggered by completing challenges or bounty contracts. Now, that is where Walter Goggins' Ghoul comes into play. And what's interesting is this is kind of a prequel to what happened in the show because the Ghoul, obviously, like I told you, is voiced full on by Walter Goggins, and I think I think that is where I got to give them the flowers. This is coming out in December. The Ghoul made a super big impression on everyone that watched the show, whether you liked him, you love to hate him, whatever. But the fact that he's in this expansion coming out around the same time as the show is absolutely brilliant marketing. But what's great? What's great is this is a new region for Fallout. It takes place in Ohio, and it's a prequel to where you find the Ghoul in the show, and you're going to meet the Ghoul at the back of the Last Resort bar. Which is a hub within the game, and there he's going to give you bounties. You're going to be able to do bounty contracts for him. And again, I don't know how they're going to incorporate this DLC, this free update into the season 2. Are they going to give you flashbacks or something? Because again, it's a different region and it takes place prior to the actual Fallout TV series. But again, flowers for Bethesda for getting this done. I think it's super important to have these things connect. And the new main quest for Burning Springs is going to revolve around a quest to deal with a super mutant known as the Rust King. So he's like the Thanos, if you will, of this new this new update, this new DLC, this new expansion, if you will. And players can form an alliance, during, obviously this DLC with their friends. But you can, and they do make it feel like you can go play this in the single player. Now, I kind of want to just throw this out there. So this is a gas game for Xbox, and I always wondered how they made money on these things. So I did my research prior to doing today's show, and one of the things I asked was when I was even at the place, I asked some of the PR folks at Bethesda, can this game be played in single player or as a single player game? And their answer was yes. Now here is where there's a line drawn. MMOs can be fun. They could be a place where you meet other gamers that are on the same or have the same interest of you of just enjoying the content, and you can have great times and you can become friends with them. And then of course, if you become friends with them, you could probably play this game, put on the mics and you go, right? You play a couple hours and you have a good time. The thing I don't like about MMOs are the Ds, right? There are people that go out of their way to just be complete a-holes. And I'm again, folks, I barely have time to play games now. I don't want to invest into an MMO where I'm going to go out into the world and I'm going to get raided by a bunch of a-holes. So there is a way that you can play in a closed world environment. I didn't know this. I actually had to do the research on it. where it would feel and act like an actual Fallout game. And so I've already given Bethesda their flowers. I'm gonna give them some smoke, but I'm gonna tell you about this paid closed experience. So the closed experience is called Fallout First is what it's called. It's the Fallout 76 premium membership. It's $100 a year, 99.99. Now, hold on, folks. I'm not telling you to go get it. I don't have it, and I don't intend to get it, to be honest with you, because I don't play Fallout like that, or at least Fallout 76. But if you're someone that does play this and you're looking forward to, maybe you're going to get into Fallout. Maybe this TV series says, you know what? You don't want to be a 60-year-old man like me in 5 years when Fallout 5 finally releases. Because that's where I have smoke for Bethesda. I think that they didn't chart enough with the single player folk, meaning that, and again, folks, this is my speculation. So I have smoke, but it's more of pointed than actual criticism. I think if I'm Bethesda and you have your TV series coming out, well, we don't need to come out with a new game. We just come out with new expansions for our MMO, right? It's been out for a couple of years. People are enjoying it. We have millions of players playing it. We'll just put that out there. We'll put out a couple of new expansions, and the masses will be happy because they're playing Fallout. Well, I say hold the phone, pump the brakes there. I wish they would have asked me, because the last Fallout that we got was Fallout 4, which I thought was okay. I didn't beat it. I went back to it, I think 3 or 4 times, and it's okay. It's not my favorite. In fact, it's my least favorite in the entire series. So if you just go by the numbers and how Bethesda works, we're not getting Fallout 5 to at least 2030, right? Because Starfield came out in 23. They've had one expansion. There's a mystery expansion which still hasn't been talked about, right? We're waiting on that. I thought that was dropping this year. So far, no, right? They're working on the Elder Scrolls, the next big Elder Scrolls, right? That's going to be a really big deal. And that's currently in production. I don't think it's in pre-production. I think it's an actual full-on production. So they're working on it. I would imagine, and again, this is me just speculating, that at some point at the end of the year, maybe the Game Awards, right? Or sometime next year, maybe at the 2026 June event, we get a gameplay trailer, right? And we get a release date for 27, possibly. It could, again, this is me speculating, folks. I don't write any stories on what Boom said, because trust me, I don't have connections like that. But if I'm a gambling kind of a guy, I show the teaser trailer either at the Game Awards or at least at the 2026 Xbox June show. And then, of course, this is just me, if you want maximum marketing, there are 2 things that I do here. One, it is a 1-year exclusive for Xbox. Now, before you throw the virtual tomatoes, there's a reason behind that. It's not the point that the Sony players can go, aha, we have it, you don't. No. What is also coming out in 2027? Oh, that's right. New hardware, ladies and gentlemen. The Xbox Series 2, if that's what you want to call it, and the rumored dockable handheld, you make that a launch game for this box. Yay, right? Everybody wins. Xbox sells hardware, they sell the handheld. Millions of people go to Steam and they buy, the new Elder Scrolls, and millions of people get it in their service and buy the upgrade for their new console. It's a winner, winner, chicken dinner. See, that's why you hold off an exclusive. not to be like, gatekeeping the PlayStation players. No, no, no. You want people to buy you new hardware, you got to entice them. Again, folks, listen, I'm too old and too long in the tooth to get any kind of marketing job at Xbox. They still haven't called, and I've had some killer ideas. Guess what? They're not calling, but it's fine. It's perfectly fine. Um, so getting back to Fallout, my pointed opinion about what's going on with Fallout is you had a very successful season one. You have record sales on old games. Now, what could still happen, and this is where I kind of gonna circle the wagons back to my original point about there are a few things happening here. Again, I don't know if there is going to be a Fallout event. Someone had DM'd me, and I get a lot of DMs, folks, and I didn't actually do the research to know whether or not there's going to be a Fallout event. But if there is, there could be the announcement or at least the unveiling of the rumored Fallout 3 remake, which will fall in line with what Obsidian did what they did with Oblivion earlier this year, which has gone on a record tear for sales. So if Oblivion looked phenomenal, and it does, and you can get a Fallout 3 remake like that, and you have the Fallout Burning Springs expansion, which is free, and you have the show or season 2 happening on Amazon in December, that's going to satisfy a lot of Fallout fans like me as we wait potentially until 2030 when Fallout 5 happens. Now, I hope it doesn't take that long. Because obviously I don't want to be 60 years old playing Fallout 5. I kind of want to play that like tomorrow. And I know that might be that's just another gamer who wants what he wants when he wants it, but Bethesda, they work in 5-year blocks. That's how they usually produce their stuff. And it's been a long time since Fallout 4. I'm hoping that because of the success of the TV series, I would imagine that when Fallout 3 remake or remaster, whatever they decide to call it, comes out, it looks, runs, and plays like Oblivion. It is going to tear up the sales chart. Everyone, because it's going to come out. It's going to come out for Switch too, because Switch 2 will be able to run it. It's going to come out for PS5, PS5 Pro. It's going to come out for Xbox. I wouldn't even be surprised if it comes out for the PS4, PS4 Pro as well. It's going to come out for everything, and it's going to sell like hotcakes because it's a new old Fallout. In fact, it's one of the best in the series. At least it's one of the best that Bethesda has made, in my personal opinion. So, going into Fallout 76 and I had about maybe two and a half hours. I played with a lot of other creators. We spawned a couple of these events where it was a lot of us and it was look, I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty cool. When you're rolling with a group of like 15 other creators and they're all converging and you're just wiping out the competition. It was a lot of fun. But I think that the single player experience has been delivered. I personally, this is just me, folks, I'm being honest. As much as Fallout 76 has really grown since inception, and I really do mean this because I played it originally and I hated it. I didn't like the graphics. I thought it was okay at best, and I'm not an MMO guy. So I played this new expansion, and I haven't been back in years. I walked away like, wow, it actually looks, runs, and plays like a single player Fallout game. It looked like I would be playing a Fallout game, and I'm just playing with other people. Me personally, okay, so shout out to Cage Vampiro in the chat. Says, boom, October 23rd is Fallout Day, some kind of show. Thank you for that. I did not know that. So there you go, folks. Thanks to Cage Vampiro. Vamparo in the chat. Um, Fallout Day is October 23rd, which is in about a week and a half. So if they were going to launch, I mean, you're probably going to get a new trailer for Fallout Season 2. Not surprising. Um, and they could use that day to launch. I mean, Shadow Drop. Boom, here you go. The Fallout 3 remake, which I think would be the way to go. Oh, thanks to Roshan on Pinterest. Always a love extra boom. I appreciate that. I didn't know if anybody was going to even tune in for this, but being honest, and that's what you come here for. At least I hope so. I would not spend the $100 on the. Let me get to exactly what it's called. It's called now. This is considered the Fallout 76 Premium membership. It's called Fallout First. So what it includes is you pay $100, and in your monthly gift is you get 1,650 monthly atoms. I guess that's spending cash. The key benefits are you can play in private worlds with friends. So what that ultimately means is if you wanted to play this new expansion, Burning Springs, which launches in December, like it was a new single player story driven Fallout game that you're going to get potentially in 2030, you could do that, but you'd have to spend $100. Otherwise, you have to play with others. Now, who you play with is going to vary, which is why I don't like MMOs. Because and again, as a bit of a side note, I did talk to a couple of people that play, and again, I don't want shout anybody out because we just this private conversation, but one of the things that has been expressed to me by numerous people is there is a community within Fallout that act almost like guardians or like cops. They when you come in, to Fallout and you're a new player, they welcome you. Like they're not robbing you because you're a new player. They're giving you gear. I've heard this numerous times, and it's encouraging and it's super cool that there are actual Fallout players that take this stuff so serious that they go around wiping out the a-holes that go to beat up on some of the newer players. I've actually heard that. That's pretty freaking cool. And again, side notes, sorry if I'm all over the place, but I'm solo, so I got to just go. It's got to come out and I just got to go. Pause. This is a story that I tell all the time. So my brother and I are big fans of The Division, and Division 1 is our favorite of the series. And the Dark Zone is when you go in there, you're expecting to get wiped out. So my brother and I went in there, and we were high ranked, so we can hold our own. We had all the gear, and then we came across these 4 dudes that were trying to kill us and take our gear. So we were stuck. We were literally stuck between where the exit was to get out and this group of a-holes, which is what you find in places like the Dark Zone. That's what the Dark Zone is. It's just crazy. And out of absolutely nowhere, 4 dudes roll up and they attack these 4 guys that are attacking us, and we start attacking them, and now we have them pinned. It's the 4 dudes out of nowhere. My brother, Neo Mental, and me now have these 4 dudes, and we wipe them out. 6 on 4, right? I'm not making this up because I'm getting goosebumps telling the story, folks. I'm not even lying. And they all did the salute and just took off, just left. And my brother and I, we tell this story to everyone. Said this is one of the coolest video game stories I've ever freaking had. And that is what kind of goes on in Fallout 76. Now, I can't say that I've experienced it because I'm being honest, folks. I haven't played Fallout 76 up until this event in years. It's not really for me. But if you are someone that doesn't want to wait for Bethesda to actually put out an official Fallout 5 and you are someone that enjoyed the show and you really liked the Ghoul character and you like the fact that this is a prequel to the show and you're going to meet the Walton Goggins voiced Ghoul to do bounties for, you might want to get the Fallout First membership. Again, that's entirely up to you. I would not spend the money because I don't play Fallout 76. But if you do, and you want private worlds, you can do it. You also get what they have, the survival tent, which is a place for it's a new fast travel point and where it stashes your stuff and your sleeping bag. Awesome. There's also they have something here called the scrap box. It says get unlimited storage for crafting components. I mean, if that is something that's up your alley, go get the $99 one where it's private world and you can go and you can play this new Burning Springs expansion, and you can literally play it like it was a Fallout game. I'm personally not going to do that, and there's a couple of reasons. One, I'll probably play it to give it a shot. I'm not paying the money, so I'm going to be playing with other people. Hopefully, I don't get robbed or get killed, whatever. But I will say that after sitting down with no pressure and playing it for 2.5 hours, just they give you the headset and they just let you do your thing. If you have any questions, you kind of raise your hand like you would in school, and one of the devs come over and you're like, "Listen, I don't know how to work the controller." It's a little different. Again, it's an MMO, folks. It has a lot of wheels, like a weapon wheel, and how to speak to other people. It's a little overwhelming. At least it was for me, to be honest with you, because I haven't played Fallout 76 in years. But I got the hang of it, and when I was just not with the group, kind of just doing my own thing, I'd pull up the map, I'd put a mark onto it, something, and I would come across NPCs, and interacting with these NPCs, I got some submissions that I did. And I did some of those submissions, and I was like, wow, this kind of does feel like a real single player Fallout game. Unless you pay for the for the Fallout First thing, you're gonna be in an open world. All I can say to you is that if it's something that you want to try out, this might not be the worst time to jump in, especially if you were like super jazzed because of the TV series. Like I said, I like the fact that the Ghoul's involved. I like the fact that there is a backstory to the Ghoul. I do hope that they take what they're doing in Burning Springs and somehow flashback that into season 2. I hope that they incorporate it. And again, like I said, if you would have asked me, are they going to get Walton Goggins to do this? I'd have been like, nah, he's not going to do it. Yeah, he is. When we sat down, to listen to the producer of the game, he came on the screen. He was like, "Hey, everybody! I know you're here checking out Burning Springs. I'm Walton Goggins. I portrayed the Ghoul, and just so you know, I'm doing a voice." I thought that was pretty cool. So we got a chance to do that. I didn't get a chance to meet him because it's just a video, but again, if this is something that's up your alley, I think this, if you're interested, this might be the expansion that brings you in, because it brought me in, to be honest with you. Originally, like I said, I was completely honest with the devs. I'm like, I bought it, I played it a little bit, didn't like it, but I didn't buy it to play it. I literally bought it for the helmet. They laughed. They're like, you know what? We've heard that before. So at least I wasn't the first person to tell them that. I am going to say, though, going into it, I had very low expectations. I really did, because it's an MMO, and that's just not my bag. So I originally, like I said in the opening of today's, little sit down for Fallout 76 Burning Springs, I was actually not even going to accept the invitation, but I kind of got talked into it. And I'm actually kind of glad I did, because not only did they change my mind, the single player aspect that I was told about, it's there. If you are someone that wants a new Fallout experience and you have never played Fallout 76, I would say give Burning Springs a shot, because not only has the game seen over 30 updates since it launched a couple of years ago, but the graphics have gotten better. The interaction with the with the NPCs has gotten incredible because there were hardly any NPCs when it launched. Now it does kind of feel like an actual Fallout game. I mean, again, this is coming from someone who's a non Fallout 76 player, and I'm not trying to sell you up on anything, folks. The update is free. You don't got to pay for anything. You can go download it and go. That's what you should do if you want to give it a shot. But in my personal opinion, if you want, if you've never played Fallout 76 and you wanted to dabble, because maybe the show got you, itching to play something Fallout, this is probably the expansion for you to jump in. And they make it very easy. And like I said, graphically, it's really good. And I like the interaction with the NPCs. It does feel like a single player game. Now, look, am I racing to go play this in December? I mean, I'm so inundated with games. The answer is no. Am I going to download it and play it at some point in December? Yes. I'm going to get down with it. I'm not paying for the subscription service. I'm not paying $100 because I'm not going to play it like that. But I am definitely going to give it a shot. Jesse James, I see you, brother. He says, are you doing a show tonight? Absolutely, brother. We have a lot to get into. This is a bonus episode. That's why it's listed under the Double Barrel Gaming Presents mantra, because, again, it's Double Barrel Gaming Presents Fallout 76 and the Burning Springs expansion coming in early December. But let me just take a look. Let's see. So Cage asked, Boom, can you do a Fallout first, like 13 for anyone to try it? I have it in front of me here, and let's see. I'm actually gonna, you know what? I'm gonna go to Xbox. I'm gonna do this. In real time, folks. So I'm at Xbox.com, and I pulled up the Fallout 76. It's called Fallout First, and it's Fallout First 12-month membership. Now it says here that currently it is 30%, 36% savings, and it says join for $99 a year. Now this is where it gets interesting because thanks to let's make sure I get the name right, Cage in the chat. There is a $13 a month. You can try it if you wanted to try out, and I'm glad he brought that up because that's pretty interesting. I did not know that. I thought it was a one flat fee. There is a $13 a month membership that you can pay monthly. So if you don't want to pay for the 12 months, you can pay $13, play it for a month, and if you like it, then upgrade to the $100, the big boy, or pay monthly. That's entirely up to you. I probably still would not do the $13 thing, only because the issue here is time. That's something that I don't, as a retired guy, you would think, oh man, that boomstick has all day long. Folks, I go to the gym 3 and 4 days a week. That is paramount for me personally. I have this back thing going on, and I got to keep the weight down. I got to do the cardio because I want to keep the ticker going good. And I got to stay loose, right, with this back. Because if I let it go, my back's a disaster. I live stream 5 days a week, sometimes more. This week is going to be 6, right? I stream on holidays, like we did on Monday. I only when I am deathly ill, like Thursday, Mrs. Boom and I were completely down for the count. And even feeling so on Friday, I did the show because I didn't want to disappoint anybody. I still have to incorporate taking care of the house because that's what I do. I'm a house husband because Mrs. Boom still works. So I got to make sure the house is clean. And I'm a clean freak like that. Like I like a nice clean house. Like every time you see me taking pictures, I didn't just dust to take the picture. I do that every day because I like a clean house. Maybe that's TMI for some people, but I like a clean home. And I'm not going to ask Mrs. Boom to do it because she's working, so it's not fair. I'm retired. In all of that, with reading articles and doing the thumbnails and now doing videos, I got to find some time to play. I kind of like playing games, folks. Surprise. And that's why I won't do it, because Fallout 76 is an MMO. Even if I paid for the closed world, for me personally, I like Fallout, but I want a Fallout console experience that's just me. I don't want I whenever there's an opportunity to play with other people, it's not because I'm antisocial. I don't have the time. I can't be like, "Hey everyone, let's meet at 7." Because anything after 5 that I'm not doing a show is Mrs. Boom's time, right? Because she works Monday to Friday. And the weekends, I very rarely go live. I did a couple weeks ago when they had like the breaking news with Xbox leaving hardware. I did a show because people were in arms and people DM'd me, but usually the weekends I got to unplug, folks. I got to get away from just doing anything social media and spend time with Mrs. Boom. And I'm recharged once Monday comes along. So it is the long answer, Cage. I'm sorry, but that's just the answer. Again, the $13 a month. I'm glad you brought that up. Thank you for that very much. It's not bad, and I'll say this. Now that I know that there is a $13 a month option, I did not know that. When Fallout 76 Burning Springs comes out, what I played was dynamite. I very much enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the ghoul interactions. I like the fact that you're doing bounties for him. Like these are bounties that are beneath him, so to speak. So you go out and you do these bounties. They were pretty cool. So if this is something that you want to try out, you download the free update in December, right? You'll be watching the show, so of course you're going to be itching for something Fallout. Here you go. Good marketing 101 by Bethesda, which they do. And you go and you spend the $13. Again, if an MMO life is for you, then you don't have to spend anything. Just go play the game. The expansion is free. But if you want the Fallout single player experience, maybe spending the $13 for the month of December may not be such a bad idea. So you can at least play through the expansion. You got 30 days to beat it, because obviously you'd get it in December, and it would, whenever you started it, whenever the DLC comes out, you start it and you get to play through it. And if you like it, then you come back. If you don't like it, it was only a $13 investment, and that's actually not such a bad risk in my opinion. But ladies and gentlemen, I hope I answered all of your questions. Now, before we get out of here, I am up to date on the chat. Does anybody have any questions? This is an AMA, as they call it, the kids like to call it. It's an Ask Me Anything. Do you have any questions about my experiences with Fallout 76 Burning Springs? If you do, I'm gonna kind of hang out, take a couple of your questions. And I thought I was only gonna be here for, I always say that, 30 minutes, and we're gonna be here an hour. And I normally can't talk that long, and I haven't even taken a drink yet, so I'll kind of wait. So here's Cage in the chat. Says, well, actually, Cage is actually answering the question. You don't need to get Fallout first to play, guys. Yeah, thank you for that. So, I kind of said the word free, like I think 6 times. So let me just reiterate. The Fallout first is an optional yearly subscription that's $100. That gives you, and let me read you verbatim again, folks. It gives you something called private worlds, meaning that if you go and you play Fallout 76 today, you are playing with other players, some nice people and some a-holes. And from what I understand, more nice people than a-holes, right? If you want the single player closed world experience of a regular numbered Fallout game, you can get what's called Fallout First. It is Fallout 76 Premium Membership. And there are 2 flavors. $100 for the year, which saves you about 26 bucks, or it may even a little bit more than that. It's actually going to save you a little bit more because if you pay for it monthly, it's 13 bucks. So it's 130 for the 10 months, and then you add another 26 on top of that. It's 156. So you're saving over $50 if you play that much Fallout. If you are a Fallout 76 player, the $100 deal for the whole year is of course a savings for you. If you want to try out Burning Springs and you don't want to play with others, and you want that closed world experience that you would get in a regular single player Fallout game, you can spend 13 bucks, try it out for a month. If you like it, continue. If you hate it, you cancel it. But every update that has come the way of Fallout 76 has been free. And in December, when the show gets its season 2 on Amazon, Burning Springs will also be an update that is free. I thank you, Cage, for that. I thought I was pretty clear, to be honest with you. KC, I appreciate that, brother. Yeah, I got to tell you, I and I didn't think I was even going to say this. You know what? I gotta when I put out the tweet, and this is not Fallout related. I'm only saying this because that's very kind of you to say, Casey. I'm always honest with my opinions. I get games for review? I absolutely do. Do I give some games tens? Yes. Do I give a lot of games nines? Yes, because I only get the games. I will only accept a review of a game that I am interested in playing. Like for instance, I gave Avowed a very high score. Avowed is my game of the year 2025. But of course, you're going to get the people like that happened last week where you get accused of being bought. Nobody is buying Boomstick, and certainly nobody. My integrity is true. I wear it on my sleeve, folks. I have high integrity, and I'm not being bought out. If I think a game sucks, I'm going to tell you that the game sucks, even if it's from Microsoft Direct. Phil Spencer could hand me the game personally, and if the game isn't good, guess what? Sorry, Phil, the game isn't good. But I've been fortunate that the reviews that I have done, like Forza Horizon 5, I gave a 9.5 out of 10. When I reviewed Gears of War, was it 5? Gears of War 5, I freaking loved every second of it. I think I gave it a 9.5 as well. People are going to criticize you for it. That's perfectly fine. So Jonathan Cox, you're asking, he says, Boom, do you play Fallout 76? No, I actually don't, dude. Like, I will jump into it because I really enjoyed the interaction with the ghoul. And I like the fact that you're going to be able to do, like I think I did 3. Was it 3? Yeah, I did. I returned 2. The third one I didn't finish because of time. So I was able to do a couple of bounties for him. And when you're talking to him, you can ask a question like, "How come you're not doing them?" And go, "Well," and he'll tell you that ultimately these bounties are too low for him. They're he's the king. You're the peasant. Go do these jobs for me. Um, so I don't play it. I am going to download the update in December. I'm going to give it a shot because I want to play something Fallout. I'm a nerd like that. When there's something a TV series, I want to play the game. Unless, of course, I'm playing Fallout 3 remake and it's as good as Oblivion. That's a horse of another color. But yeah, thanks so much for that because you do get accused of being bought, and I just think that's such a coward crappy thing to say to somebody. Like, oh, I don't really trust your opinion, Boom, because you got the game for free. Well, tomorrow I'm spending $1,500 on all the the ROG, Ally, Xbox, everything. I bought the controller, which I actually picked up today. I might do an unboxing later. It's really nice. And of course, I got the case. I got the official ROG dock, which is going to hook up to the TV, and I got the Xbox Ally X. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I did inquire about getting a review, uh, model, getting gifted this for review, and the channel is too small. I mean, we're sitting at 16.2. It's I know a lot of people are like, nah, boom, the channel's big. I appreciate that. Compared to some others, I don't know how it works. I know that we've been recognized, and that's enough. $1,000 device. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. This is gonna sound crazy. I'm almost personally happy I didn't get the device. That I'm buying it myself, folks. I don't know about you. I don't, but chat. I'm this. I don't know how many people are reviewers in the chat. Raise your hand if you've ever reviewed a game for a company, not for yourself. The pressure that I'm under right now is I'm reviewing at least two games. One I can talk about, one I cannot. And I find myself under a ridiculous amount of pressure to get out here and do the reviews. I got to play the games. Like I have so far about 20 hours in the Outer Worlds 2. That I know that's not until the following week, so that's good. I have some time. The other game is coming soon, and I only have like 10 hours. And I'm trying to do both games, and it's a lot of pressure, to be honest with you. So honestly, I'm not capping, as the kids like to say. I spent the money gladly. I gladly spent the money. It's not a problem, but I'm actually glad I didn't get it for review, because that would be something else I would have to review, and it's a lot, folks. When you do if all I did was breakfast with Boom, remember back in the days when I only had one show on Fridays and I had the whole week and I was actually doing videos, it was at my leisure. Now I'm syndicated and I'm Monday through Friday. There's just not enough time. So I hope that answers the question. I know a lot of people are. I know I saw the question. I don't remember who said it about if I'm reviewing it. I am going to review it, but it's going to be on my dime, not on Microsoft's generosity, because it's fine. And it actually wouldn't be Microsoft only. It would be ROG. They'd have to authorize me getting one of these units. It's a lot, and it's a lot of pressure. I don't know. I hope that makes sense, folks. But um let me just say this, folks. A big thank you for checking out for what is going on. Almost an hour. I cannot believe I'm getting as good, not better, as good as Dirt Griggity and Mav, two of my favorite casters. I love those guys. Their shows I watch all the time, and they're such good solo hosts. I hope today you enjoyed the conversation. I hope that you enjoyed the banter. It's a little all over the place because that's non-scripted. It's literally just it's shot from the hip because I'm talking about my experience. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in, checking us out. A big thank you once again to Bethesda for recognizing Double Barrel Gaming and inviting me out to the Microsoft experience a couple of weeks ago, where I did get 2.5 hours of hands-on with Fallout 76 and the Burning Springs upgrade, or the expansion coming out in December. And of course, folks, if you enjoyed today's show, hit the like button on your way out. I'd super appreciate that. But before you go, 7 p.m. tonight, I'm going to be sitting down with two of my favorite friends, my brothers, and that is Kay Asante, and that, of course, is Hargeet Chani. And we're going to be talking about tomorrow's big release. There is a story that shout out to King Webb, who's in the chat. That's my brother. He consistently drops news bombs into the DM. And folks, there's a massive update for the Xbox Play Anywhere, and I cannot wait to break down all the games that have been added just in the nick of time for tomorrow's release. I'm going to be talking about that. I don't know what the second topic is. I actually have to get out of here, finish unpacking Costco, because that's literally where I came from, because I do the food shopping as well. And I'm going to work on tonight's show. But again, folks, thank you for taking the time to check out my Ask Me Anything for the Fallout 76 Burning Springs DLC or expansion coming out later this year in December, right alongside the season 2 Fallout TV series. And of course, I'm going to close out today's show with something that's incredibly important to me, folks. Hopefully, one day it'll be important to you. And that's something that my dad taught us when we were kids. And he would say, Craig, treat others how you want to be treated. And also, it doesn't cost anything to be nice. You live by those rules, son. I can guarantee you're going to have an awesome day. So take care, everyone. We'll see you tonight on the new episode of Primetime Gaming with Mr. BoomStick and Friends.